On June 6, 2016, a group of children were gathered around transistor radios, listening to broadcasts produced by the Technology Enhanced Learning for All Tele project. The broadcasts target underprivileged children and encourages them to improve their literacy and numeracy skills. Unfortunately, this afternoon, a violent storm struck, ending this impressive effort to learn. These children belong to the numerous camps spread around the north of the country, part of the population of internally displaced people or IDPs, largely remaining within the borders of their countries. IDPs are often forced to flee their communities and take refuge in other communities. In this case, they find themselves in this predicament because of the armed conflict between Boko Haram and the federal and state governments of northern Nigeria. Boko Haram is an insurgent group that has unleashed a campaign of terror in northern Nigeria for many years. Originally established as a peaceful body seeking change in the country, this group has transformed itself into a violent sect that operates mainly through suicide attacks, abductions, and the wholesale destruction of communities with the aim of transforming the nation into an Islamic state. Threatened by the armed conflict, members of numerous communities have abandoned their towns and villages or are moved by Nigerian security forces and now live as internally displaced persons or IDPs in various parts of the country. According to the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, out of the 20 million refugees worldwide, 51% are under the age of 18. In Africa, it has become a common practice for warring factions to influence or force children to become soldiers on their behalf. This was evident in armed conflicts such as the Sierra Leone rebel war and the Rwandan genocide. In Nigeria, the advent of the Boko Haram conflict has not spared children. Since 2009, there has been occurrences of children being drafted as fighters into militant groups, either forced or hypnotized. This has traumatized some and resulted in the deaths of many others in Nigeria and on the African continent. With the support of the Nigerian government and the international community, many children have been liberated from the dreaded Sambisa forest in Borno State and other notorious hideouts of the insurgents. Transferring them to internally displaced camps located in various parts of the country has given these children and their parents a sigh of relief. These camps consist of orphans, widows, widowers, and many who have completely lost contact with their relatives. In addition to some of the challenges mentioned, the children in these camps are forced to adapt to the specific challenges of their new environment. A number of IDP camps have been established in Yola, Adamawa State.
We have 3,104 human beings here. About 1,884 are children. That is between the age of 0 to 17, while the remaining are adults.
People from different backgrounds, people with different levels of education and, ideology, basically. It's very challenging anyway. And then if you also look at where these people have come from, what they have experienced, it even makes it more difficult. We've been trained to provide whatever or to solve whatever challenge that we face that's coming from them.
We have unaccompanied minor, that is people that are here on their own without parents. We only assign caregivers to them. We have about 68 of them. The primary challenges is the number is growing and the resources is limited. Other partners that we're supposed to collaborate with in managing the camp are constrained. Managing this camp is a business of NEMA and ADSEMA. We used to collaborate. We have our mandate, they have their own role. But as it is now, NEMA is shouldering almost everything 100%. So this becomes a primary challenge to us at present. Other international partners are doing very well. We have IRC, International Rescue Committee, which among our partners, we feel their impact most. They are almost in all the sectors of the camp. The sectors including health, WASH, psychosocial support, shelter, and livelihood. We have others as IOM, International Organization for Migration. They are also our partners. Basically, they are into psychosocial. We also have UNHCR. They are into protection and shelter. We have UN OCHA, that is the United Nations Office for Coordination. They are into coordination of all our activities. We have UNICEF. UNICEF are basically in education and the clinic as well, and other psychosocial support too in terms of playing material, recreational materials for the IDP's children.
And we've got a clinic here, the welfare, the clinic. If we have cases that are beyond the capacity of the clinic, we refer them to the hospitals, more expertly run hospitals.
As the women's leader, my duty is to take care of the new IDPs brought to the camp by giving them food and showing them around. I also take care of the unaccompanied minors, who are mostly orphans, by providing them with their needs from the available resources.
In an effort to recapture the former lives of the children and create a semblance of normalcy, they are encouraged to continue their education in the camps. The American University of Nigeria, in partnership with the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, has introduced a radio program to help the internally displaced children improve on their literacy and numeracy skills through the Technology-Enhanced Learning for All TELA program.
Aisha, beraye nawa muke da shi? Yara na gida, ku irga tare da Aisha.
The children are encouraged to listen and to participate in 45-minute radio broadcasts aired on a local FM station in Adamawa State.
The project is aimed at using technology to enhance education, looking at YOLA and the environment as the primary target for implementing this project. The children actually play a central role for the TELA project. We expect to have at least 22,000 children across the state listening to the project.
Residing in any IDP camp is not a death sentence. In addition to learning via technology, IDP children engage in traditional and formal education.
The educational activities majorly are for children. I think the very young children, toddlers, and maybe to age 6, 7, thereabouts. They're mostly psychosocial, trauma healing, and it involves like games, recreational activities like, the jumping, skipping, and then storytelling, throwing frisbee, just to give them some sense of hope as well. In school, they have a football team. On a daily basis, basically, when they're back here before they go to school, they do their sports.
Teaching the IDP children is not like teaching the normal children in conventional school. They are traumatized children, so their level of assimilation is very low, and they hardly comprehend things easily as the normal conventional children we have in our schools.
We have to adjust some of our teaching. We are not starting straight to the curriculum direct, because we have to cancel them and bring their mind back before we continue with the normal curriculum.
If we're in the class, if you are teaching anything, they hardly get it quick, except when you incorporate it through play or other things, because they will get it right. It will take them time before they get it. For instance, we are having a play, particularly we are on modeling different things. Now we can teach them on soil, the clay soil, and some modeling items. The pot, the cup, instead of coming on the board, drawing it, teaching them, they will get it easily when they do it practically. And so you say, this is a cup. Now they have modeled a cup, and you show them this is a cup, they get it more easily than teaching a cup items in the room or in the kitchen and calling a cup. They will not get it. But when it's abstract, but when it's real, they play with it, they get it easily.
They are responding to learning, but not as normal school children, just because of the confusion.
I take them English and also mathematics. But currently now I've got to nursery class, the play class. So we'll play with them, I teach them there. But when I'm a little bit relaxed in the nursery, I'll move to the secondary section to teach them Agric, English, and we have some people mathematics taking over now. So I'm a little bit free from those subjects.
Survival often includes finding a way to make a living. IDP children in Yola have not lost sight of this fact.
Most of the economic activities here are done or performed by adults. But we also have children who, some of them support or assist their parents, trading some of their products or helping to finish them, like those who are into crafting and arts. We also, of course, have a few children who have, on their own, gone into crafting, like the hat making. They also craft bags. They use polythene to, craft bags. And we have a skill acquisition center here, which sponsorship, by the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, in partnership with USAID. It's an ongoing program. They train different, different categories of people and then groups. There's tailoring, there are other activities as well. So some of those that have been train other people who have not been trained.
I'm from Michika local government and I study at the State Polytechnic, Yola. During the holidays, I sell bread in the street to take care of myself. I'm from Garta in Michika local government. I run a small provision store. Things are getting more expensive now. I don't make as much profit as I used to before. I'm also from Garta in Michika local government. I sell recharge cards. Business is not good these days. I make only ₦1 profit on every recharge card I sell. I started by selling only sweets and biscuits in the camp. Children come here every day. thank God because my business has grown bigger and I earn just enough to cater for my needs.
In the camps, children are encouraged to develop and practice skills that they could use to support themselves in the future. One of the goals of the IDP program is to help the children relax and accept their reality. Recreation has therefore become an important part of their daily activities.
We are trying to train them. That is for the children. What I mean by training is we have a school that we make sure that they go to that school, and we make sure that we provide within our reach what they will use to learn. And other recreational activities, of course, to make them blend with the society, to make them forget with their experience. You know, they are traumatized. So you need a lot to do to make them become normal, or rather interact freely. Psychosocial is in essence trying to develop their psychomotor activities. That is for them to engage in activities that will make them forget their past experience, that is the bad one, and become blend to the present society.
The first thing is to bridge that gap that exists in their life. They've gone through ordeals, they've been displaced from their home, or where they're regionally or usually inhabited.
We have football for both males and females, volleyball, and some marathon field activities like sack race, bottle race, egg race, and the likes.
Through recreation, the children are able to interact with each other, temporarily forget the unpleasant memories of their past, and focus on the present. The games are designed to achieve this.
We've got religious centers, a mosque, a church as well.
For the Christian faithful, we have a church within the camp, and we make sure they observe their regular morning devotion and evening devotion. For the Muslims, we also have the mosque that we make sure they observe their normal prayers. And in the churches and in the mosques, there are usually classes, religion classes organized within the church as well as the mosque.
Each step is important, each smile therapeutic. Gradually, but certainly, they learn to overcome their traumatic experiences.
Our present security challenge, which also leads to the opening of the camp, of course, we don't allow movement outside the camp. So all they are doing is restricted within the camp premises.
Of course, they always say home is home. So our people are away from home, but we try as much as possible to ensure that they have as much their life before they came here as possible. The first thing is to bridge that gap that exists in their life. They've gone through ordeals, they've been displaced from their home, or where they're regionally or usually inhabited. We try as much as possible to bring back dignity to their life and to meet their everyday needs.
The worship and trust of a supreme being whose interference and protection is required to make life tolerable in these circumstances is important to all IDPs, even the children. Religious rituals and prayers are held every day. Whether through religion, education, recreation, or economic activities, these children are determined to cope with their new reality. They have embarked on a journey, though unwillingly, because of the need for security and peace of mind. On this journey, there is no telling when their ordeal will end. So they keep moving ahead, finding different ways to carry on with their lives. The end uncertain, their destination unknown.